There are, however, certain points I want you to know. First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
What I would like to hear from Mr. Smith is the truth. I suspect it's highly unlikely he's interested in an outcome punishing someone he doesn't like. And I think he's going to be held accountable.
So we will see shortly how much they get out of this one. Search for answers on the Hill a short time from now. Former special counsel Jack Smith set to go behind closed doors and face House lawmakers about his investigations into Donald Trump, and we'll see how he answers that.
Yeah, we got to talk about some major stuff here. Major stuff. You guys remember the raid on Mar-a-Lago? Yeah, everybody remembers that. It was shocking. It was all over the news. I mean, my goodness. Former U.S. president's home raided? Really? According to them, over some documents? Even though other people have had documents as well? Joe Biden, Barack Obama, amongst others, right? But you literally raid this make a whole show of it. Raid this man's home. Okay. Well, according to some new information that we're getting, they may be in trouble because allegedly they didn't have probable cause in order to do that. And I want to play that clip for you guys. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. I won't be burying the lead. Let's hop right on into it because this is absolutely wild. Check it out.
The Justice Department and FBI are about to turn over a tranche of emails showing that the Justice Department, the Biden Justice Department, did not have probable cause, did not meet the standard for a search warrant when they raided President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. That is significant. Why? It's in the statutory limit. It is prosecutable in the state of Florida, so you're not dealing with Virginia or Washington or New York jurors. And it could lead to both criminal charges against the prosecutors if they misled the court, or civil litigations where the president sues his own Justice Department saying, you violated my Fourth Amendment right against illegal search and seizure. And so those are really, this is a significant, this may be the most important document today.
This a blockbuster. You're telling me there actually exist communications between people that show that they didn't have probable cause, which remember back in August that year, there was I think it was 21, there was this whole firestorm about this. And they went on TV every night and said that. You're saying they not only they had a discussion behind it, they actually went out and lied about it in media every single day on MSNBC and in the New York Times.
Well, here's the real question. We're going to have to find out what they represented to the judge to get that search warrant signed, because the FBI, the Washington field office of the FBI, which, by the way, was no fan of Donald Trump's. They were behind January 6th. They were behind Russia collusion. They were telling the Biden Justice Department there was not a probable cause to raid Mar-a-Lago. That is a significant. These are emails and memos from inside the Washington field office of the FBI, an anti-Trump field.
FBI to give Congress bombshell memos warning Biden DOJ didn't have probable cause to raid Trump home. Amazing. Wild news right there, man. But, are you really shocked? You shouldn't be. I mean, because, and I always bring this up when we talk about the Epstein list, right? When they're like, oh my goodness, oh, Trump said it's a hoax, or why is Trump pushing back? And it's like, well, listen, if Trump was actually in these files, they would have released it. Even if it was like in some shady way of releasing it, they would have made sure it came to the light. Oh, we got an anonymous source, because they literally threw everything at this man. Everything. Including allegedly now raiding this man's home when they didn't even have probable cause to do so. But they did it anyway. So you can't tell me that they had this man dead to rights in the Epstein files and never released them. Like, come on now. You expect me to believe that? Like, That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't even make sense. They literally tried to bury this man, sent everything in his direction, including some bullets, right? People tend to forget that one. And they attempted it multiple times, okay? Now, granted, there was only bullets sent once. The other time, they actually caught the guy beforehand. But, yeah, man, this is absolutely wild stuff. Now, I want to play this other clip with a young lady by the name of Christina Bobb. And I want you to take a listen to what she had to say about this entire situation. Check it out.
I was President Trump's custodian of records for Mar-a-Lago. The defense team, President Trump had his defense team that was handling the case, and they needed someone to act as the custodian of records. So they brought me in for that. I met with the Department of Justice and FBI about 2 months prior to the raid with the defense team. Next thing you know, they're raiding Mar-a-Lago, and the whole thing reeked. It was absolutely horrid. They never had probable cause. They had to go to a judge who was conflicted out, by his own admission, was conflicted out just weeks before. I want to say like 6 weeks before, he had said that he was conflicted from the Trump-Clinton case because he was not able to be impartial. Well, then suddenly 6 weeks later, or whatever it was, he's suddenly able to be partial and grant a warrant, a search warrant for a raid of Mar-a-Lago on an affidavit that was untruthful. They lied in the affidavit. They didn't provide all of the facts and information. President Trump joined our meeting for a few minutes, before 2 months prior to the raid. He was very open and transparent. Everything about this absolutely reeked.
And that was Judge... Remind everybody what his name is so that people can remember who the traitors are.
Yeah, Bruce Reinhart. You can look it up. He recused himself from the Trump-Clinton case because he said he couldn't be impartial, and then he granted the warrant.
Wild stuff, huh? Absolutely wild stuff. A judge who recused himself ended up signing off on the actual warrant. I don't know how that works, right? On one hand, you say you can't be impartial, but then on the other hand, you're signing off on a warrant to raid a former president's home. Okay. All right. As a matter of fact, I want to show you guys this post here from Chuck Grassley. Now, make no mistake about it, I am no fan of Chuck Grassley, but I just want to show you this post here. And it says, received shocking new docs today from DOJ and FBI, showing FBI did not believe it had probable cause to raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, but Biden DOJ pushed for it anyway. Based on the records, Mar-a-Lago raid was a miscarriage of justice. Now, I want to read this with you here. Okay, now this may be a little hard to read, but I can definitely read it. But here it is. As everyone is tracking, WFO does not believe and has articulated to DOJ that we have established probable cause for a search warrant for classified records at Mar-a-Lago. So they don't believe they've established probable cause. DOJ has opined that they do have probable cause, requesting a wide scope, including residence, offices, storage space. So, yeah, I mean, it's in clear writing. We don't believe we've established probable cause here. But the Biden administration was still trying to push for it anyway. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. So, yeah, hopefully something great comes about this. We shall see. I would like to see some people get arrested, but I wouldn't be mad if Uncle Trump got a check from it, a fat check. I wouldn't be mad about that. Especially considering they literally tried to bankrupt this man. You guys remember the Letitia James case where they were trying to make him pay a fine of like $500 million. And you had people like AOC calling him broke because he couldn't pay it. It was just like, what? Huh? Yeah, you're broke because you can't pay $500 million in fines. As if that made any type of sense. Well, excuse me, you don't have $500 million to just throw down the toilet? You're broke. Man, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. But once again, more evidence that the Democrats will stop at nothing to remain in power. Will stop at nothing. Raiding a man's home when they didn't even have evidence to do so. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Disgusting stuff. Also, matter of fact, I want to read this other part. I forgot this part. It says, continued investigation and additional interviews have not found any witness who has reported seeing classified records at Mar-a-Lago since the return of records. So they were interviewing people and admitted, like, yeah, nobody was like, yeah, we saw some documents. Nobody said that. Not a single person. Zero evidence. But they still did it anyway. Wild stuff, man. Absolutely wild stuff. So people most definitely need to go to prison for this. This is just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. Stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.